I hope you are having a great day already, and we're all coming off of Thanksgiving, and hopefully you had a wonderful time with your family and that it was a blessing to you, and that you hopefully took advantage of the tips I gave you last week, and you started working out on Friday to get right back in the groove again. And as you come today to meet with me, you are feeling fantastic. You're not bloated. You don't feel fatigued and just gross. I hope you feel awesome. So take to heart all the tips that I give you, because they really, really will help you. And I look a lot more dressed down than usual today because I am actually recording workouts today for my online coaching clients, and usually that consists of 2 or 3 strength training workouts and some circuits that they do, and it's all programmed. We had just finished up a 3-month periodized plan, and now we are bringing it down for the month of December, and then we're going to hit it hard again in January, because December, as you know, is busy. It is the busiest month of the year, and so I take that into account when I do my programming for my clients. And that's really important. You need to have a coach that understands periodization and how to program so that it fits around people's lifestyles and they're not killing you every time you work out. So that's kind of what led me to decide to talk to you today about the 5 things to look for when you hire an online fitness coach, because there are a lot out there. I am well aware of that. And, there are people that do all kinds of different types of fitness. So, you can find someone that is specialized in anything under the moon that you suddenly have an interest in. And so, you could hire someone who is a yoga specialist, someone who is a sandbag specialist, kettlebell expert, all of those things. You can find someone that is an expert in what you're interested in the moment. And that's awesome. It really is an awesome thing that you can do that. And there is a caveat to that, though, because there is so many, and it's so easy to get started online. There are a lot of people popping up that are online personal trainers, and there's some things you need to look for to protect yourself and your hard-earned money to going to somebody who is probably not going to be a good idea for you or a good fit. So just so you know, I do fit the 5 criteria that I'm going to talk about today, and I do have many years, over a decade of experience, hands-on experience working with people. So, and I do consider myself more of a fat loss specialist, a kettlebell expert. Those are kind of my areas that I feel that I am the best at and that I have the most fun coaching. So you see a lot of that in my programming. But let me jump right in to what I want to talk about today, because this is something that I'm passionate about. There may be a little bit of rambling going on today, so I apologize in advance, but I'm very passionate about this, and I want to make sure that you have the information that you need to make a great decision. So the 5 things you want to look for in an online fitness coach. The first one is hands-on experience. So there are so many people that will take like an online certification, could do it over the weekend, and then suddenly they're an online personal trainer and they're an expert in their field. So what you really want to look for is someone who has actually trained people hands-on, one-on-one, or small group training. Large group is great, but a lot of trainers start there and they don't necessarily have those technical skills that you need. So if you're going to spend the money on an online fitness coach, you really want someone who has trained one-on-one with people. The reason for that is that everybody is so different. Everybody has different ways that they move. They have different issues, and they need different cues. They need different exercises. And somebody who is inexperienced in that, training someone online is even harder than training someone one-on-one, because you're not right there with them. And so a lot of times there's a lot of dialogue that has to go on as we, as your coach, try to figure out exactly what's going on and what issues you're having. And if you've had a lot of training with people, you can visualize actually what the client is saying, and you know exactly how to help that person because you've helped probably 20 to 30 people with that same issue, and you know how to work around it. You know what cues are best, and you know what exercises to substitute in there. If it's somebody who's new and they don't have hands-on experience, they're going to do probably the same thing that you do, and that's Google it and figure out what comes up, and it may or may not be the right answer. So definitely hire a coach that has hands-on experience. They know what to look for, they know what to hear when you're telling them of the issues that you're having, and they know the right cues or the right modifications to exercises to give you. So that's really, really important. A lot of people can get hurt if your coach doesn't have that experience. Now, the second thing is knowledge of movement. Okay, so fitness is much more than the training of body parts. It's the training of movement. So you want your coach to understand the way that the body moves as a whole as opposed to individual parts. So if your coach only sets up programs for body parts, that could be a big red flag for you. So you want to make sure that your coach understands movement and the body movement as a whole, and they understand mobility, and they have that ability to spot a deficiency in your movement and give you some things to work on or some things to improve. Or sometimes it's just a tiny little tweak in the way that you position your foot or the way that you have your head held, or just putting your shoulders in a different position. Now, somebody who's had experience working with people will understand that, and they'll be able to help you through movement. Now, how do we do that online when we're not one-on-one? Is video. Video is awesome. So does your coach utilize video conferencing? There's many different ways to do that. But like with this is just me talking to you and I can't see you. So they have to have the ability to coach you through video conferencing. And so we, with the video conferencing, can watch you actually move and coach you through right there on the camera. So technology today is amazing, and you should have a coach that is utilizing that if they are online, okay? So mobility, movement, and they need to be able to really look at your body as a whole. So I love to use the functional movement system, the FMS, to check a client out, look at their movements, see where their deficiencies are, and that gives me a better idea of where to start with your programming. Some people can jump right into a group program and be fine. They have great movement, they have no past injuries, and so for them, they can jump right into group programming. But sometimes I have someone who has had past surgeries, past injuries, not quite moving correctly, and if I can see them on video, if I can look at their movement, I can do some testing with them on a video, then it's so much better for you, because then you're getting programming that is specific to you and specific to your deficiencies that we can improve on. Because there's no point in putting you through a program where I'm going to make your deficiencies worse and then you're not in a better place. So I always want to make everybody better, not worse. Now the third thing is nutrition. Now nutrition is huge, and what I am seeing is there's coaches that are, they take a stand on one form of nutrition. So they'll say, I'm all about clean eating. I'm all about paleo. I'm all about flexible dieting. They take a stand. This is preference. This is what worked for me. So this is what everybody else is going to do. But in real life, and if you've had experience coaching people, you know that one way is not always the best way for everybody that you're coaching. So you really need to have a fitness coach that, one, is certified in nutrition and understands the science behind nutrition and how everything works. Hormones, body type, all those kinds of things. Also take into account the type of workouts that you're doing, because some nutrition is good for some types of workouts and some are not. So you you really need to have someone who understands nutrition, and that also understands that not everybody is the same, and you can't make everyone do the same nutrition plan. Everyone's going to need something a little different, and sometimes that requires a little testing here and there, especially with women who are going through some hormonal changes in their lives. Maybe someone has just had a baby, and they're in that postpartum period, or maybe they are pregnant and you're coaching a pregnant client. All these things are important when it comes to nutrition. So, if you see someone who is adamant of this is the way that you do nutrition, you're going to count your macros, or you're going to eat clean, you're not going to eat any grains, you're going to do it this way, beware, because that might have worked for them and it might work for a handful of their clients, but it might not work for you. And if anything, I know that women understand their own bodies. So make sure you're picking a coach that's not giving you a cookie cutter program. They're actually going to work with you with your nutrition to figure out what does your body like and not like. What is the best nutrition plan for you, not for the masses, okay? And the next part of that is accountability. So does your coach have the ability to hold you accountable? And how do they do that? How do they check your progress to make sure that you are moving forward in your program? So one of the things that I did this year was I found a software program that allows me to have my clients send me progress photos, send me measurements, send me their body fat, their weight. Also, it lets me know when they've completed a workout, and I celebrate that with them. This is a big deal. And, every month we do an accountability check-in. Let's see where you're at. How are you doing? What are you still having challenges with? Let's come up with a plan. Let's come up with some new goals. And every month they're setting new goals so that they're working on something every month. Now, one of the mistakes that a lot of new coaches will make is that, your client wants to lose 30 pounds. So this is their goal. Their goal is 30 pounds. Now, I'll tell you that if you have a goal to lose 30 pounds, it is extremely overwhelming. And you will feel like it's taking you forever to get there, and you become very discouraged right away. So I take a different approach when it comes to goal setting, and we only set 30-day goals. Now, I know, and they know, that their ultimate goal is to lose 30 pounds. But I only want you to focus on this little piece this month. And then next month, we're going to evaluate, and then we're going to make another smaller goal. And I know that over time, we're going to reach that big goal, but I don't want to overwhelm you. I don't want you to feel, like, oh, I've got 30 pounds to lose and I've only lost 5 so far, or things like that. So you need to have a coach that understands accountability, who understands how to track that with you, how to set new goals every month that aren't overwhelming for you, especially if you are a mom with kids, lots of kids. Homeschool moms typically always have at least 3 or more children, so you don't need to put massive overwhelming goals in front of you. Let's start small, and let's just work our way to where you eventually want to be. And so measurement of progress, they should have an ability to do that and should be able to hold you accountable. So I love to make it fun, and so we have great challenges all the time. Every month we're doing something fun, and it's just something to keep everybody focused and moving forward. And with the holidays here, I keep it simple and fun, but I'm still holding you accountable, but it's not overwhelming, okay? And then the last one, the 5th one, is really, really important. And that's, do they have the ability to look at your life as a whole? Your life as a whole, and coach you through these sticky situations. I have been a homeschool mom for, almost 21 years now, and a fitness coach for over a decade. And I've had clients from all walks of life, and there's different challenges that each one has, and you've got to have the ability, your coach has to have the ability to look at what the stress levels are in your life, What motivates you? What does a typical day look like for you? How are we going to fit fitness in there? What are we going to do so that you are successful? And a lot of times these new trainers will come in and, they say, I want you to spend an hour strength training. I want you to do, 45 minutes on the treadmill after that. And then I want you to plan your meals for the entire week. And I want you to do this, and I want you to do, and pretty soon you're already overwhelmed just by what they want you to do. And that's not realistic for someone who has a large family, has a lot of responsibility at home. If they're homeschooling their kids, you have a lot on your plate. So how does your coach look at your life and make the program fit into your life, not your life fit around your program? Okay, so that is huge right there. And that all comes into the goals, that all comes into the accountability and all of that. You need to be able to find a coach that understands you, understands your life, understands where you are, what type of personality you have. Are you a client that can just flip a switch and go? Or are you someone who needs incremental steps? Do you need daily motivation? Do you just need to check in once a week? You don't want to be bothered the rest of the week? I mean, what type of personality do you have? Are you gung-ho about the nutrition but on the workouts, or vice versa? What type of personality do you have? And do they try to find out? Do they ask? Do they have methods to find that out about you? So those are all really, really important things to look for in a fitness coach, an online fitness coach, a in-person fitness coach. All of these things are really, really important, and that's what you want to use as your parameter as you're looking for one. So I know it's right around the crazy time of the year, the holidays. Nobody's probably thinking about hiring a fitness coach at this time, but save this video, because when the new year is about to hit, this is when you're going to start thinking about it, and that's when you're going to need these tips. So I hope that was helpful, and I will be back here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central with some more tips for you to help you in your fitness journey. And if this was great, if you have some other things, some other experience that you can share, put it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions that you want answered, put them down in the comments. Perhaps it will become part of the next show. If we have some great questions, I will definitely share them. And God bless you guys. I hope you had an awesome Thanksgiving, and I will definitely be looking for whatever comments you guys have for me. All right? Love you guys. Mwah.